Welcome, 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 my lovelies. Welcome back. I don't know if I look any fresher to you or not, but this morning JB gave me a haircut and I have trimmed my beard. So hopefully I look a little bit tidier for you. When I looked at the last video of Georgie's Palace and editing all the clips, I just thought, Richard, you just look such a mess. I get carried away every day, I have to say, with my work, and I forget to look after myself. But today, JB, as always, has stepped in and saved the day. What would I do without him? I don't know. I think everybody needs a JB, really. So before I get into the video, which is going to start with the mould that I've been making for the this column, so we'll see. I'll take this out when we're all watching and see what has happened there. If it's worked okay, we'll find out. So welcome to part 9 of Georgie's Palace. I think, if I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen there, the correct one. But yes, thank you for all your comments. Lots of comments about different things. Through one thing and another, we've been going off at different angles. We've been talking about books and the smell of paper, which is just brilliant. We've gone on to perfumes and talking about perfumes because that relates to the smell of paper. Blah blah blah, and it's all things that I'm interested in, and obviously some of you are. So the conversations have gone from one thing to another, which is just brilliant. Which again, I want to say, this emphasizes us as a community, and it's not just me talking to you or whatever. We're all conversing backwards and forwards, and that is the whole goal of me being on here. So cheers, my lovelies. I'm now back on a tea day today because I'm slightly fresher than I was when I did the last Georgie's Palace, which took several hours to upload. Absolutely disgraceful of the internet companies when they do this just because you're leaving them. Anyway, this video isn't about internet people. So what I'm going to do is, hopefully we'll take the column out. I'm going to make a few of those, so it will take a few hours for each one, but I'll edit the video obviously. And talking about editing the video, I mistakenly, when I was editing some of the, I think 38 separate clips in Georgie's Palace part 8, once they're all put together, I have to sit and go through them all. It was, I don't know, about 3 hours of footage, and I was cutting bits out, and by mistake I cut out a bit when I actually showed the paints, stone paints that I'm using, and then of course the lady that put me onto these did comment and mention about the paint, and I was so upset. I didn't want to miss this out at all. But this was shown to me, or told to me, by Amanda from the UK. Hello Amanda, hope you're well and hope you're watching and hope you're enjoying your day or the evening. But yes, you put me onto this paint, and I just want to show people properly. It's called Stone Lux paint. This is antiqued stone. If you look on the website, as I say, they haven't gave me these. I had to buy them. They don't even know me. But if you look on their site, you can get whatever color paint you choose. I think you can get it in up to 4 variations of textures, and the antiqued stone was I think the one that gives you the most corroded or eroded stone effect. So I wanted to use that because I wanted my stonework to look old, as you know. And I was so pleased with the way the plinths had turned out with the bits chipped out of them. What I did notice on the plinths was, just to say, where I had cut pieces out first of all and then painted the stone paint over it, I didn't want it built up as thick as the bits that weren't chipped, because chipped bits wouldn't look as you know, as stone like as the outside. So I only put 2 coats on the little chip bits, and I'm sure you won't be able to see it on camera anyway, but looking at it you can see that the chip bits are slightly either lighter or slightly smoother than the bits that aren't chipped. So again, it really is a tiny attention to detail that you probably don't really notice unless I pointed it out while we were looking. Anyway, so thanks to Amanda, this is the paints. You can get they're water-based, so you can mix all the colours, and they have a whole load of colours that you can use that you would get in stone. So over the time, when I have the money, I shall buy more of these. And I think these are the sample pot ones. When you go in to the site, look for sample pots, and these are the sample pots, and they go, I'm sure for dollhousing, they go quite a long way. So another thing I wanted to answer was a comment. I can't remember who wrote the comment. Was it Sue? Hello, Sue. If it wasn't, hello, Sue, anyway. But somebody mentioned, won't the building look really odd or really weird or strange without the windows in the back? The only reason I'm mentioning that is because I just want to say this is a classic case of being given the product and then not having the vision to change it. I don't mean that in an offensive way, because I've done it often. Looking at dollhouses, once you see exactly what it is, sometimes your mind goes blank and you can't imagine it being different, and if you change it, it's going to look strange or weird. But with the lady saying, isn't it going to look weird taking the windows out of the back, so there aren't any, it's not going to look strange at all. Every single house we have, the castle, the Art Deco house, the John's Georgian house, in fact I'll take you indoors quick just to show you these. None of our houses actually have windows on the back walls or even on the side walls. And I think this is the only house that I've got at the moment that it has the windows in the back. So most dollhouses, you open the doors in the UK dollhouses and you have 3 solid walls, and they've got a chimney up the back or a fireplace or whatever, and then bookcases in the back wall. But none of these look odd, and it's only because of seeing this house has windows in the back, it makes you think, isn't that weird covering them up? But it's not. I'll just show you the other houses I'm talking about just quickly. So this is where Georgie's palace was sitting, and it was a big hole left there, so we brought some houses down just so we've got houses in the conservatory. That is the museum underneath there, but it's covered up at the moment for Georgie's palace. But as you can see, the Amelie's Parisian haberdashery has no windows on the sides and no windows in the back walls. The same with the Woman in Black house that John has, and also the big Georgian house. There are no side windows and no back windows. Actually, while we're here, let's just have a quick look at it because it's fabulous. But yes, so it's solid walls all round, just like most of our UK dollhouses. I'm saying UK dollhouses because our friends across the pond, their houses you usually go in from the back, so there's no windows in the back walls, they're just completely empty, and you look into the house from the back. But I love that kitchen, by the way. I think it's fabulous. Mind you, John Boy doesn't live in it because the dishes are in the sink and need washing. That would never happen if JB lived there. The sink would look like it's never been used. But anyway, That's the so that's what I was just explaining, why it doesn't look weird not having windows in the back walls. And also with that, you can you know, you can fully decorate the walls. If there was windows in the back there, it would take away, you wouldn't be able to put shelving up or have a chimney breast and fireplace. Yes, so really it's just windows at the front of the house, and then whoops, oh, here we go. Okay, back in the workshop. So let's go down to the workbench here. I'll move the camera down, and let's see what this mould looks like so far. Now, I think when you pull it, it's quite stuck to this mat. Maybe I should have put something on the silicone mat, but I just thought the silicone mat itself would purposely not stick to the mould, but we shall see. Oops. So I'm guessing by the look of it, this is the easy part. Well, the glue that comes off easily enough. But now I don't know whether to use a craft knife to try and get that off. Oh, here we are. That was very, I was going to say that was very scary, but maybe a little dramatic, even for me. It wasn't really that scary. I just thought, oh my goodness, I've just ruined this, and what am I going to do now? Yes, look. So it has peeled off clean, completely. Okay, so where the pillar was lying flat down on there, just very thinly, I can peel it off with my finger. The silicone has gone under that, but that can be lifted up quite easily, like so, to reveal the pillar. So I shall use my craft knife just to trim that edge off, and then I'll get some plaster mixed up, and we'll make some of these. I have got UV resin, which I want to use for the small moulds. But I don't think I'll use the UV resin for this because it's quite an amount of liquid there, and I only have a bottle of it, so I don't want to waste it on a couple of columns. I'm guessing the UV resin is better for smaller items. Okay, so let's see how easy this is to come out. I'll do it carefully. I don't want to really damage the mould or anything, if possible. That's the bit with more detail there, so it's just a bit more awkward to get out. Here we are. Right, I shall get some plaster mixed up, and pour some in here, and let's make some columns. Now, okay, so first of all, I am not any authority on making plaster casts or anything. As you'll know if if you've been family members for a while, you'll know that this is the first time I've ever made silicone moulds. First time I've ever done plaster work is on the Palace. So whatever I do is hit or miss, and if it works, then that's wonderful. What I will be able to tell you though, just a little, just a tip, which I think is the case for a lot of our YouTube videos with all different, not just dollhousing, but other videos as well, where they talk about the same craft or the same stuff. I think some people, if they watch a video and it tells them something, gives them a tip, then when they do their video, they also carry on that tip. Because I'm using, I'll show you, I'm using Mould Master Stone Cast Powder. I haven't chose this professionally. I've chose this by looking at however many different ones were sold on Amazon and what just sounds like something I would use. So that's what I'm using. But the videos I've seen of people doing this, they've used this stone cast powder and other powders. Powders are powders, it's all the same stuff. But all the videos I did see, they said to put the water in, which I've done. I'm actually putting in 200 mils of water for this. Again, I'm not measuring this to fill these moulds. I'm just having a rough guess of what I've already done in the past for these moulds, and hoping that they fill up enough and I'm not left over with tons. If I need to mix more, I'll just mix it quickly. So I'm, to me, I'm just guessing what's going. And plus, I have a new mould now, so this may not be enough. I don't know, but that's that doesn't matter. But what I did see on most of the videos was that you put the water in and then you carefully put the powder in, obviously carefully so it doesn't blow up everywhere. And all of them that I looked at showed you the powder sitting on the water and it's slowly seeping in, soaking in. And nearly all of them have said, and leave it, don't stir it, leave it for about 45 seconds so the water absorbs into the powder first before you mix it. Quite a few of these videos I saw. The lucky thing was, or the good thing was, when I eventually came round to doing this, I completely forgot that they'd said that part, all the videos I've seen, and I just tipped the powder in and mixed it, and it's been working perfectly. So you heard it here. Different powders might be different, or they might tell you different things, but it doesn't even say on the instructions to do that, to just leave it. So I just tipped it in and it works perfectly. So let's do it now. So I put 200 mils of water. You need double the amount of powder. So it's half water and double the powder. So I'll put this on 0 and I need 400 mils of powder. So I will stand up for this bit. And I shall edit the video to me wearing gloves because I need a pair of gloves. The weighing scale's at 0 and I'm going to put 400 mils in. I'm not wearing a mask so I can talk to you, but I'm just going to be very careful and put it in carefully. Oops. Right, so that's 50. I need 200 altogether. 400 altogether. Right, okay. Now, just if I can, I don't know if you can see that, but there's water in the bottom there and the powder isn't soaked into it at all, only some of it. So I'm just going to get it and obviously stir carefully so it doesn't blow up, but I'm just going to scrape it all together. And as you stir it, it all mixes in and all the lumps disappear. So this stone cast powder, you don't have to let the water soak in at all. Just get on with it. And it mixes to a lovely smooth consistency. So hopefully that will help people. If you're already using powder, then you're leaving it for the best parts of a minute each time. I can safely say you don't have to. So that's, I don't want to tip it up too much, I don't want to pour it out yet, but that's just mixed completely liquid. So now I shall pour in the, well, I'll actually spoon it in because I found it was neater doing it this way when I was making the last of the moulds. So I will edit some of this part of the video because it will take a while. Oh, and you can't see, sorry, let me move the camera down. Okay, all I'm doing is just pouring it in reasonably carefully. If it goes on the top of the mould, that just breaks off when it dries because it's just a very thin layer. Right, okay, so I've taken the other moulds out. They are lovely. The detail on them, really nice. So these have all come out okay. So I'm hoping, I'm trying to, I don't know if I'm leaving it long enough to dry properly without it snapping in half. But I'm just sort of eager to get one of these out to see what it looks like. So I've just eased off the edges all around, and let's try and lift this out without breaking anything. I'm just expecting the whole thing to snap. Oh, that was a breath holding moment. Obviously it just needs trimming up along the edge, but that's come out really nicely. That's picked up all the detail. I'm really pleased with it. Excellent. Okay, so I will mix up little bits of plaster, make a few more of these, and then we will carry. I'll get this cleared up, and then we'll carry on and decorate the columns. Now I've made the 4 halves of the columns and glued them together. I won't pick them up. I've put PVA glue between the 2 pairs, glued them together and put elastic bands around the top and the bottom. And I've lined them up so they're nice and secure, and I shall just leave them there. I'll give them half an hour, 40 minutes just to make double sure, but they should be fine once they're dried. Then I shall fill the joins in the 2 halves where there's any little gaps, just tiny gaps, and then we shall decorate them. I'm just using the lightweight filler again, which is coming in very handy for my work lately, and I haven't sanded it yet, but that's that sort of rough area there, that's the join. So it's just a line really, but I've put the filler in all the way down. I'll let that dry. I'll give it 20 minutes or so, and then I'll just sand it lightly just to smooth it, and then we will paint it. Now, as you can see, the columns are now being painted with gold. Reason being, excuse me, this video, as most of these videos, they're done over days. So during the last clip, in bed last night, the couple decided to pay me a visit. Woke me up, and I started thinking about the palace, and in that time they started discussing the columns. I was thinking about how I'm gluing them together, then I'll sand them and what have you. So it turned into a conversation with the couple, and they decided that they changed their mind about the stone effect, and they wanted the columns painted gold along with all the rest of the gold on the outside of the house. So basically they wanted as much as possible to show a sort of symbolic wealth of the building that they're turning it back into, hopefully. So they wanted an abundance of gold around the front door. An abundance of gold is what they're getting. So, and of course it's bringing out all the lovely detail. So that's very good. That's just had one coat, so I shall go over it. The can't really see the join now. Oh, I can just see it there, although I have sanded it smooth. But they look like, apart from looking underneath there, they look like a solid column now, one column. So that's working out just nicely. So I shall carry on painting this one, and then I shall show you the columns in situ. I'm looking forward to seeing them very, very much. Okay, here we have the finished doorway. Well, finished until me or the owners think of something else. Never say never. Right, now, before I start work on the inside or decorating the inside, I don't want these wide doorways here. They go right through to the other side as well, straight through the front of the building. You can't see them on this side with the design of the building. They're hidden in there, and I don't want them there. So if you don't want a door, you cut out a bit of wood, just corner it there on the corners, because the wood there is slightly cut into corners, and then I'm going to put glue all around the edge of it. There's the wood glue, and put it in. They're quite wide, but I'm going to put it in there, tap it in with a hammer and flatten it off, so that will get rid of the doors as well. And when I cut the MDF, it's really bad for breathing that in, very, very bad for you. So I use a mask with filters on it to cut it out. So I've got this one and the other one at the other end of the building to cut out and glue them in. I'll think about the upper floors. They've got smaller doors in the upper floors, but they are all at the front. So I'm going to have a think about the plans I've drawn for that and see if I can move those doors as well. I have indeed decided not to use any of the doors that were originally made in the building. Those ones there and there. So that's all the doors at the front of the building sealed up now. I've designed a layout that I want for the palace, which didn't need those doors, obviously. And I think before I will be cutting holes for other doors further up, but I think before I start that, I am actually going to start on the grand hallway, because I'm too excited and I want to get on with this part first. When I've finished each room, it can be sealed up at the front and taped down, and that will keep the dust out of the rooms while I'm working on other rooms. That's how I normally work anyway. And over here I have been working on new moulds for new styles of columns, and that's the first one come out, and I want a few of these. and they're nice and short. Well, in fact, they're exactly the same, they're exactly the height that I want them to be, and because I have things to go below and above them. I'm also doing molds with this design to make a frieze, so that will be going around, probably around one of the rooms, but I haven't decided which room yet. So there's lots of stuff going on at this side of the workshop at the same time as working on the grand hall itself. And Georgie has decided to come in and have a little snooze on his and Nigel's chair. So he's on a little go of it in the workshop, snoozing away. Hey Georgie. Mm? Oh. He's curled up almost like the tea cosy that the lovely Rachel sent us. Hey Georgie. Well, he can hear birdies. Go back to sleep. They won't annoy you, darling. Okay, my lovelies. I will leave this video now instead of carrying on, because the next section is just a natural break in the way that I'm doing constructing the building. So in the next part I will be beginning the grand hallway. I have actually started filming for it already, but I don't have enough to make it a sort of whole section, if you understand what I mean. So I shall leave this video and we'll be with you very, very soon when I've got the next video together. This is all very exciting. I keep looking over there because, as you know, it's right there, Georgie's palace. Okay, everybody, thank you as always for watching. Thank you for any new people that have come along, and welcome to our family. And I will speak to you again soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.